Okay, YouTube, so look at this frosty, crispy winter wonderland, and it is finally time. Let's see if we can get it to do something here. So this is the Seiko Astron. The reference here is the SSJ021-J1, I believe. So if we can just get a little bit of sunlight here on the dial, it should register. Let's see. Just a few seconds of direct sunlight here. Okay. So perhaps I'm not getting enough direct sun. Maybe here it is. This is probably better. Well, okay. Look at that. That's my dog. So what I was gonna do here is, when the dial feels direct sunlight, it should actually try to connect to the GPS and correct the time to atomic time. So let me just push the top bottom here. The reason it's not doing it is probably because it's already synced with the time. So hang on, give me a second. Okay, so here it is. I just pressed the top bottom here. Oh, okay, there it is, and it goes to Y for yes. So now it has connected to a satellite and it has updated the time, and we are now running on atomic time. So yeah, a beautiful, beautiful watch. Okay, let's continue with the review inside, because it is actually getting just a little bit chilly here. Okay, hang on. Be right back, YouTube. Okay, YouTube, so it's finally time. Here you are. This is the box, manual, stuff in there. Whoop. Yeah, there it is. And this is the actual box. It has a beautiful brushed finish. And if I can just open it up, here it is. So this is the inside. It says Astron, Seiko, and we have just kind of like a pillow here. I guess maybe my spare links is underneath here. And here is the watch. So we just came in from outside, and let me see if I can get a loom shot. The loom on this watch is next to nothing, and what I mean by that is, this is the best loom I've ever seen. It's just so beautiful, and it is, you can actually kind of see it just when you go walking around inside. This is the most impressive loom I have ever seen. It does have like a name. Is it like a Loomy Bright or something? Maybe I'm confusing it with another brand's name. Anyway, that's not really so important. So this is the Seiko Astron, as I said, and this is actually the limited edition of the I guess you could call it maybe the little brother to the chronograph, and it is a solar quartz, and it just has a bunch of cool features. And of course we have like a sun here, beautiful, and this is the one of the bottom buttons, and another one, and here we have the I don't know, let me just, I don't know, okay, maybe I should just hold it like this. So yeah, I don't know if you can see it there, limited edition, and this is number 456 out of 1200. So this is a full titanium watch, It is incredibly light, and actually even the clasp here, I'm pretty sure I've at some point found, oh, that's a little bit hard to see, but even the clasp is full titanium. So it is just titanium on titanium. And the weight of my configuration here with the sizing for me is 91 grams. And I was just so impressed with this watch when I first saw it. I just couldn't take my eyes off it. And in the dial, just where the second hand is now, you can see like an N, and over here you can see a Y. So that means a no and a yes. And what that shows is when the second hand, let me just show you if I press it once, there it goes to Y. That means yes, it is actually synced up, and the little hand right there went to 1. That means that the local time, that's when the watch connects only to one satellite, it is synced up. And you also have 4. That means like if you travel to a different time zone, you can hold this lower button in for like 5 seconds, and it will actually connect to the satellites, and it will bounce off your current location, and it will give you the time zone and the time for the country that you find yourself in. And then we have LS, which is leap time or leap second. And I was actually lucky enough to just be drinking my morning coffee. I believe that was around the 6th of June this year. So maybe half a year ago, I actually saw when the watch updated its leap second time. So I was just sitting enjoying my coffee, and the watch started trying to connect to the satellites, and it did so. So maybe if I can, here we are, and if I press it again, as you go to leap seconds, it is, you can see it is updated there. So it is fully atomic, and now the hand shows the current power charge, since it is a solar watch. And on the top there you can see a little plane. That is for plane mode. When you are traveling or flying, you can disconnect the the signal, so it will not try to update or send GPS signals during the flight. And yeah, okay, so since it is titanium, it is kind of like it actually does you can see my fingerprint a little bit there. That is just a typical thing for titanium. It is kind of very dry, but the feel of the titanium, and also on the wrist, it feels much like what I would suspect of a ceramic watch feels like. The feel of titanium is just, it's just amazing, and the sounds of it, it sounds just like, man, it's just awesome. And yeah, just right off the bat, I want to say that if you're going to start a one-piece watch collection, that you should really consider doing it with this watch, because it's just that good. It really is that good. So this is the limited edition Morning Star, I believe it is, where it has the kind of this fade. You can see here at the bottom, it's a little bit more bluish, maybe a little bit purplish, depending on the light, and it becomes darker up around the 12 o'clock position. So it does have a fade, and then it has the starry sky background there. And it's incredibly hard to actually see the solar panel, since it is a solar quartz. I just have a thing for solar quartzes. I think they are one of the most interesting configurations to a quartz watch. And yeah, this watch, it is plus minus 1 second every 100,000 years. So this is without a doubt the most precise, the most accurate atomic watch, probably one of, if not the most accurate watch in the world right now, wristwatch that is. And it will automatically update 2 times a day. When it gets direct sunlight, it will connect to just a single satellite. It takes about maybe 5 seconds, and then it has the current time for your current time zone. So one thing to note is that if you have summer and winter time or daylight savings time, you have to manually adjust for that. So you just pull out the crown, and then the hour hand will it will move in 1 hour increments, and the minute hand can move in 15 minutes increments. So I do have a few videos, perhaps I will run them maybe up in the corner so you can see. So for example, if I put this watch down in a drawer, or I put it in the box and I close the lid, it receives no sunlight or any artificial light like from the ceiling here. And then it will go into power savings mode. So it will just not move, or the second hand will stop, and it will just go into power savings mode, and it will actually hold the charge for 2 years in that mode. And then when you take it out and it registers on the dial that there is either artificial light from your inside lighting or sunlight, it will start back and it will remember the exact time from the last time it updated the time you were in. So it is an amazing piece, and I love this watch. I love it so much. The size of it, I believe it is 41 millimeters, but as you can see here, it tapers down quite drastically. So the fit of it on my wrist is like 17 and a half. At summertime, I think it's 18 centimeters. And I do wear my watches quite high on the wrist. Let me just put it on and I will show you. Hang on. Okay, so here it is on my wrist, and it fits really good. And the feel of it, as you can see, the bracelet here is quite broad or thick. It's not really thick in that sense, maybe a little bit, I don't really know. But the clasp is quite low to the wrist here. And yeah, I usually wear my watches right here on my arm, so I have no problems. I really don't like when people start wearing the watches up, on kind of on the hand. Let me try and you can kind of imagine if I move it to the right here, maybe an inch or so. Some people do actually wear the watch like that. I think that's just wrong. You shouldn't do that. This is the perfect position for your wristwatch, if you ask me. So yeah, this is where I wear my watch, and obviously it's a little bit hard to get. Okay, that helps a little bit. So yeah, it fits perfectly. It is kind of like a big watch or a large watch. So it will not fit all wrists, but you can definitely rock this watch on a smaller wrist than mine, no problem. Keeping in mind that it is a Seiko watch. So I imagine that the Japanese actually would wear this as well, and I've seen many people wearing it. So I don't think that there would be any problem for maybe like a 15 centimeter wrist to maybe 16 centimeters wrist to wear this watch as well, because of the lugs. It does taper down quite quite fast, so you can see my the bracelet here actually does extend a little bit as well on my wrist. So it does fit smaller wrists than mine. But yeah, this watch, I love this watch. I'm so impressed by it, and also the history of Seiko, who made the first quartz watch, right, for the wrist. There's just such a rich history, and this is probably the most beautiful version of this watch. I mean, it is to me for sure. No, there's no question. Hang on, I'm shaking a little bit. Let me just grab my phone. And I've been wearing this watch. I think I got it in May of this year. Maybe late May, start June. And I feel like this is the right time to do a review on this watch. I got it at a great price from McIntyre's. There's actually another video with this watch on YouTube. If you search for, I guess, Seiko Astron McIntyre's, you can see that video. That's the exact watch I bought. So there's another gentleman who made a review of my watch already. Obviously, it had the stickers on and everything, and it was in the store from where I bought it. So you should go check that out, and they have great deals. And this is not a sponsored video. I don't get anything from it. I'm just so happy with my purchase that I would definitely recommend swinging by their shop and checking their inventory. Maybe they have something that catches your eye. So I'm thinking that I'm just going to take it off again and make it a little bit easier to film it and get some good angles here. Okay, so I can see the video is already getting quite long, which is not a problem because this watch actually does deserve its time in the sun, so to speak. And yeah, as I said, if you're going for a one watch collection, this is obviously a luxury timepiece. I don't know how Grand Seiko actually holds up against this watch, but it's just so perfect. And you can see the indices, they just catch the light beautifully, and it is golden at the 12, 3, 6, and 9. And obviously the hands and the date window, and also the subdial there does have a gold outline. And it inside the subdial, I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of like a vortex. It's like you know, in Star Wars when they jump into light speed. That's kind of what the subdial looks like inside the dial, the circle there. And yeah, it's just a beautiful watch. And right now it does present quite blue, a little bit purplish, but in this light you can see, and this is quite typical of this watch, it does present itself as quite dark, sometimes even black, as you can see here. And the dial itself, for me, this is just, I mean, you'd look at this watch like for 2 seconds and you know instantly what the time is. Some people might say that this is a busy dial, but I just disagree so much. Perhaps it is for when you look at it for the first time. It could, I mean, with the subdial, I guess that's all. It could look a little bit busy, but just take a look at the beautiful large hands and the second hand just clicking away there in the typical quartz moving style there. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that the indices, I don't know if I can catch it, but it has like it is striped, so the indices are not just flat, they are actually striped. I don't know, is it possible to, no, I don't think I can get a real good look. Maybe if I put it down and see if I can press this focus here. It's not really that important, but It just catches the light in the most beautiful way. And yeah, you can also see if you look, I do have a little bit of bumps here and there. I don't mind, but you can see here the grains in the titanium. You can see the grain, and it does receive fingerprints pretty well, but that's just because it is titanium. It is kind of like a dry alloy, and it is polished here on the bezel and brushed here on the upper side of the casing, and brushed on the side as well. And the that part right there, that is polished, and it is brushed on top. The sides as well are, I believe, no, they are not actually polished. They are brushed as well. And one of the things I love about this watch is the quick adjust. It actually has 3 steps. Let me see if I can get some light here. It has 3 steps for quick adjustments. So now, right now, the watch is kind of like in the first position. I'll just take it out, and you can see how much it can move. And I use this. I mean, at summertime, I use this so much. I love it. This clasp is it's pretty much the best clasp I've ever tried. So let me show you. Okay, so now you can see here in the clasp, it does have I don't know. Oh, that's kind of hard to see, but I did move it, and it's now extended to the utmost position. This is position 3. If you look at the link right there, you can see it has moved like maybe, what is that, a half a centimeter. And now I'll just adjust it in, and you will see that this piece right here is going to go and retract back into the clasp. So hang on. Okay, so there it is. Now you can see the link is just retracted back in there, and that's just, I mean, it is so perfect, and it sits so well. And because of the broad bracelet here, you can see it tapers down quite dramatically, and I love it. I mean, I actually started to kind of miss this broad bracelet on some of my other watches, which I will be doing a review of pretty soon. I do have 2 Rolex reviews coming up, so stay tuned for those. But for now, let's just focus here on this Seiko. So the pricing for this watch is, what would that be? Is that like $3,000? I don't actually know the pricing in other countries, but I would say it's about that, just around that price, at least buying it from where I'm from. But I did get a huge deal from McIntyre's, and I actually ended up paying much less. And yeah, you can go and check the other video out, which I mentioned before, with the Butler guy doing a review actually of this watch in the store. One more thing is, take a look at the hands here, the hour hands and the minute hand. Half of the side, I don't know actually how to explain it. It is half and half, brushed and half polished. So if you can see here on the right side of the minute hand, you can see the brushing. It is matte and it's not polished, but if you turn it over here, the other side of the minute hand there, the left side, you can see the light catching it. It is actually polished. So it's just immediately readable, and this is probably the most readable watch I have due to the big the hands here. It's kind of like a sword style hand, and yeah, the lume on it, I don't know, can we get a lume shot? Now we've been inside for a little bit, I guess like 20 minutes, and the lume is just, yeah, take a look at that. I mean, that's just crazy. I've never seen anyone being able to compete with this. Obviously it does have huge indices and large loomed hands, and it does help with the readability. So yeah, over all in all, I would say this is probably for wear, everyday wear, and just it goes pretty much with everything. This watch, you can wear it. It does have the hard coating, super hard coating on the titanium, so it's obviously it's black, and I mean, this watch, you just, when you get it in hand, is just a completely different experience. Just the weight of it, 91 grams for my configuration here, it's just amazing. And wearing it and looking at it and updating the time with the buttons here and seeing it, regulate itself. I actually use this watch to set the time for all of my other watches, just because it is an atomic watch. It does have atomic time, and it is precise to plus minus 1 second every 100,000 years. That's what they said. And yeah, this is definitely a lifetime watch, and you can wear this, pretty much with everything. I think it's very, very sporty, but it's also dressy in this configuration. It's beautiful, and it is an eye catcher, and it is a conversation piece. And yeah, and once again, Seiko, they just reinvent the meaning of timekeeping by creating this first ever GPS atomic watch. Usually before this, atomic watches would be radio controlled, right? But now a lot of places have started to remove the radio signals, so a lot of atomic watches on the radio frequencies will not actually be able to update and check their own time. But this timepiece, it will always have the charge, because it is a solar watch, and it will always be precise. As long as you can go outside, you can update the time manually. It does do it 2 times a day automatically as soon as it registers direct sunlight, and it will try to connect to a satellite, just a single satellite for the time, and then you're good to go. So you can put this in the drawer, you can take it out, put it on. It is kind of like a set it and forget it. The only thing you have to do really is, if you live in a place where you have daylight savings, you just pull the crown out, set the hour 1 hour ahead or back, and then you're good to go. So I think this is an essential watch for anyone interested in watches and interested in getting something really, really special in the collection. I love it. And furthermore, the brushed finish on top here on the bezel, I love the brushed. I mean, it looks so good. I don't mind. I really do like the polished. You can even see the grains here in the titanium on the polished side right there. You can see it catching the light. You can see the grains. It's so beautiful. Titanium is such a, I mean, it is so great. I love this watch so much, and I'm never going to sell this watch. It is a limited edition, and I do think that this version, it is much, much more beautiful than the new versions they made, where they have like a round bezel here, and there are different models, of course. But this is, for me, this is the most beautiful Astron out there. And just the calmness of the dial, comparing it to the chronograph dual timer, I mean, it's just no competition for me. So yeah, I have loved this watch so much, and I have worn it, for almost a year. Like, that will be maybe, what is that, the 4 + 6, that's 12, so half a year, right? oh, that's 10, sorry, over half a year I've worn this watch, and I just, every day I'm more and more excited for it, and sometimes I actually miss wearing this watch when I'm wearing my other watches. And just to get a look here, you can see the tapering down there of the locks. It does sit very, very, very good. What I mean here, if the locks were like this, it would be kind of hard to wear unless you have like a huge wrist. But because it is tapered down so much, it is extremely wearable. And let's take a look at the inside here of the bracelet. Just, I know some people would be interested. I was interested to see how it is actually connected. So they are solid, and it's an interesting way they have constructed this bracelet. And I just can't, this is a 10 out of 10 watch for me. I mean, I use it every time I pick up one of my mechanical watches, automatic watches. I use this watch to set the time. Obviously I do set the time to the second. I'm one of those guys who enjoys keeping an eye on my watches and seeing how much time they lose or gain over the days I'm wearing them. So I do use this watch to kind of keep track on my other watches, and it will definitely help tell me when it's time to get a service on my watches, which is definitely not yet for any of the ones I have. So yeah, finally I got around to making a review of this watch. And if you have any questions, let me know. I mean, I could show you, if I hold this button in here for 5 seconds, I would have to be outside. It would try to ping my location and get the exact time. And the same thing up here, it would just connect to one satellite because it doesn't have to ping my location. It just has to receive the time and date from the last registered location the watch was in. So that's the difference between when the watch connects to 4 satellites and 1 satellite. 4 satellites is for triangulating your position and giving you the exact time and date of your current position in the world, right? You can take it anywhere. I've never seen the charge on this watch go down, and it's not like I put it in the sun every day, but it's just, I've only ever seen the sub-dial there with the power reserve being just maxed out. I mean, even now it's charging just in indirect, or artificial lighting is charging right now. So yeah, if there's anything you want to know about this watch, if there's anything I forgot to talk about, there's one thing I want to mention as well, is that this watch, the reference is the SSJ021. Interestingly enough, today we are at the 21st. The date is the 21st. Anyway, SSJ021-J1. So SSJ, it's like the Super Saiyajin, right? For any of you Dragon Ball fans, of which I do consider myself one of those. So that would be, I often think about this watch as the Super Saiyan watch. SSJ. So yeah, I mean, the thickness of it is 12 millimeters. So that's pretty standard. That's not really, it isn't thick. Let me put it on, you can see. Hang on. Okay, we're back. So here's with the thickness of the watch. I always fit my watches to like a stretch hand like this, because your wrist does expand a little bit when you stretch your hand out like this. So this is how I fit my watch, and then when I do this, it does sit a little bit more loose, but that's really only because it's a little bit cold and maybe I haven't drunken enough water for today, so it sits a little bit loose. I have actually used the quick extension to the third utmost position, So during the summertime, my wrist will expand quite a lot, like half a centimeter. And you just use the quick the extension of the bracelet here, and you're good to go. So yeah, I love this watch. You should definitely consider it, and it is, I mean, one of the most interesting watches, and it will probably, if we know the course of Seiko, it will probably be that other brands will follow and try to make something like this, you know, a GPS atomic watch, and move away from the radio updated atomic watches. So yeah, this is basically the world's most precise watch, the most accurate watch, plus minus 1 second every 100,000 years. Another thing is, when I showed this watch to my family the first time, my sister, she was like, is there no glass in this watch because of the AR coating? I mean, when you look at the watch just with your eyes, maybe like this, you cannot see the sapphire. It is impossible to see it. So my sister, she was like, is there no glass in this watch? I was like, yeah, there actually is. There is certainly glass on it, and I believe it is AR coated both on the bottom and on the top of the sapphire. And you can see it's a flat sapphire there. And yeah, so almost 40 minutes for a watch review, a single watch. It does deserve it, and I hope you like this video. And if you consider buying this watch or any of the sister models of this watch, you should definitely go ahead and pull the trigger on it. I believe it's possible to actually try the watch on virtually on your wrist before you pull the trigger on it. And there is also another version of this watch without the sub-dial there. Same functions, but the second hand, like you see here with the N and the Y, is going to take over the functions of the sub-dial. So that's a little bit smaller, and it's a different configuration, also in titanium. But if you want to buy this watch but you feel like, oh, it's too big, you should go check out that version without the sub-dial. And if you are a chronograph lover and a dual timepiece time zone lover, you should just check out the chronograph version of this watch. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this review. Please, if you made it this far, consider leaving a like, maybe subscribing. I am trying to get to 500 subscribers, and that would help me a lot with potentially getting my channel monetized. I do have quite a lot of videos with several thousand views, so hopefully for the future of my channel I will be able to keep some awesome content coming. And do not forget, I do have 2 more reviews coming with my Rolex watches, but I do want to wear, same thing with this, I do want to wear the watch for some time before I do a review on it, so I can give an honest review and really give my feelings and you know, what I think about the daily wear of the watch. And this watch is just so light. I mean, it is crazy. 91 grams, full titanium. And it is actually, this is interesting, I forgot to mention this, the watch is 100 meters water resistant, and it doesn't have a screw down crown. I use this in the shower, I've been in the ocean with it. I mean, what more could you ask for? It's the perfect watch, your trusty companion. And that's it, YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.